Cincinnati, 2026. Just days ago, this tournament was the hottest ticket in town. Fans were paying hundreds of dollars on the secondary market just to get in. The atmosphere was electric. The stadiums were packed. And at the center of it all was a 21-year-old Filipina sensation named Alex Eala, but then, the unthinkable happened. Eala was eliminated in the third round. She had the match in her hands. She won the first set. She led 2-0 in the decider. And then, she lost 6 games in a row. The dream was over. And now, something even more shocking is happening. The fans, the thousands of Filipinos who had transformed Cincinnati into a home court, are walking away. The energy is gone. The stadiums are emptier. The buzz has faded. What happened to the tournament that was once the hottest ticket in tennis? How did one player's exit change everything? And what does this mean for the future of the Cincinnati Open, and for tournament organizers who had grown dependent on the Eala Effect? This is the story of a tournament that lived and died with one player. And a heartbreaking exit that may have left Cincinnati Open in crisis. Subscribe to Tennis Pulse and hit the notification bell for more tennis news, drama, and analysis every day. To understand what was lost when Alex Eala exited the Cincinnati Open, you have to understand what she brought to the tournament in the first place. The Eala Effect is a phenomenon that has taken the tennis world by storm. It was first seen in Dubai, then Washington, then Toronto, and now Cincinnati. Wherever Alex Eala plays, the fans follow. And they don't just follow, they transform. In Toronto, tournament director Carl Hale described the phenomenon as unlike anything he had seen in 20 years. I have been doing this for 20 years and I have never seen such an incredible, alive, enthusiastic, passionate crowd, and I have never seen that many flags on center court just waving all over the place. He added, "We've never seen a player ranked outside the top 5 have this type of effect." I think her fans were specifically waiting to see when she played. The same thing happened in Cincinnati. According to former player Sam Querrey, the average ticket price on center court for Eala's match against Anisimova was $160 higher than for other sessions, and it was completely sold out. Reports indicated that 53,000 ticket requests flooded the system when Eala's appearance was announced. Cincinnati Open director Bob Moran hailed the Eala phenomenon as something unprecedented for women's tennis. One vendor even changed their menu to include a Filipino chicken adobo rice bowl in honor of Eala. Fans traveled from across the region, despite the local Filipino population in Cincinnati being estimated at fewer than 2,000, staying glued to their seats past midnight to back their 21-year-old sensation. Wasn't just a tennis match. It was a movement. Eala had turned the Cincinnati Open into a celebration of Filipino pride. And when she was gone, so was the magic. The match against Amanda Anisimova was supposed to be Eala's crowning moment. She had already beaten 9 top 10 opponents in 2026. She had won her first WTA title in Washington. She had reached the 4th round at Wimbledon. She was in the form of her life, and for the first hour, she proved it. Eala won the first set 6-4. The 5th game alone lasted 20 minutes and featured 13 deuces. Anisimova had 8 breakpoint opportunities, but Eala repeatedly fended off the pressure. She was relentless. She was determined. She was in control. The second set went to Anisimova, 6-4. But Eala came roaring back in the decider, jumping out to a quick 2-0 cushion. The crowd erupted. Victory seemed within reach. Another top 10 upset was about to be added to Eala's remarkable resume, and then, the wheels came off. Anisimova found another gear, aided by a mid-match energy drink boost on the bench, and ripped off 6 straight games to close out the match 6-2 at 1 a.m. Eala didn't win another game after going 2-0 up in the deciding set. The final score, 4-6, 6-4, 6-2. Eala's 5-match winning streak against top 10 opponents had come to an end. Her record against top 10 players fell to 9-5. Crowd was stunned. The Filipino fans who had stayed past midnight, who had cheered through every point, sat in silence. The dream was over. And with it, the energy that had transformed the tournament. When Alex Eala walked off the court, she took something with her. The energy. The excitement. The Eala Effect. And the tournament organizers were left to pick up the pieces. The contrast was stark. Just days earlier, the stadiums had been packed. The atmosphere had been electric. The tickets had been selling at premium prices. Now, the stands were emptier. The buzz was gone. The tournament had lost its biggest draw. This is not a new phenomenon. Tournament organizers have seen it before, when Serena Williams retired, when Roger Federer stopped playing, when Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal were absent. One player can make or break the appeal of an entire tournament, but with Eala, it's different. Her fans aren't just casual tennis enthusiasts. They are a passionate community, the Filipino diaspora, that has embraced tennis because of her. They came to Cincinnati to see her. They bought tickets because of her. And when she left, they left. 2.1 report noted that the roar from the Filipino faithful who stayed until the final handshake proved that Eala's star power transcends scorelines. But the question remained, what happens when that star power is no longer on the court? The tournament organizers now face a challenge. How do they maintain the momentum? How do they keep the fans engaged? How do they convince the Filipino community, and the broader tennis audience, that the Cincinnati Open is still worth watching? The Cincinnati Open's chief, Bob Moran, has a problem. A problem that he didn't anticipate when the tournament began. Moran, who is also on the WTA Tour Architecture Council, has been focused on broader structural issues, like reducing the number of mandatory tournaments players have to compete in. He said, when we came out with the circuit structure a couple of years ago, it was trying to get players to play more 1000s and 500s. I'm very confident that at the US Open, you'll see that number come down, but now, Moran faces a more immediate challenge. The tournament's commercial success has become tied to one player. And that player is gone. The Eala Effect had driven ticket sales through the roof. According to Sam Querrey, Eala helped drive the price of tickets at the Cincinnati Open up by $160 per ticket on center court. The secondary market was booming. The tournament was thriving, but without Eala, the question is, can the tournament maintain its momentum? Can it keep the fans engaged? Can it generate the same level of commercial interest? The problem is compounded by the WTA's demanding schedule. Eala has played more matches than any other player on the WTA Tour in 2026, 58 matches with 38 wins and 20 defeats. She has competed in 18 tournaments this year. The relentless schedule has started to catch up with her. After her loss to Belinda Bencic at the Canadian Open, Eala admitted she felt tired and down. Now, Eala has a 2-week break before the US Open. It's a rare opportunity for rest, but it also means she won't be playing any warm-up tournaments. And when she returns, will the magic still be there? For Bob Moran and the Cincinnati Open, the stakes are high. They need the Eala Effect to return. Because without it, the tournament may lose its biggest asset. The Cincinnati Open may be over for Alex Eala, but the Eala Effect is far from finished. The Filipina sensation has already turned her attention to the US Open, which begins on August 30th at Flushing Meadows in New York. And if Cincinnati was any indication, the US Open is about to be transformed. There are roughly 94,000 Filipinos living in New York, with the highest concentration in Queens, where the US Open takes place. The Grand Slam has already capitalized on Eala's popularity, giving her a wild card into the mixed doubles alongside Felix Auger-Aliassime, and scheduling an exhibition match against Iva Jovic in the opening week. Cincinnati Open director Bob Moran admitted the organization will now reassess their approach for next year. The WTA Tour may also be changing. A rule adjustment could reduce the number of mandatory tournaments, giving players like Eala more time to rest and prepare. Loss in Cincinnati was heartbreaking. The fans were devastated. The tournament organizers were left scrambling. But the journey is far from over. Alex Eala has already proven that she belongs among the best. She has beaten 9 top 10 opponents. She has won her first WTA title. She has climbed to a career-high ranking of world number 20, and is projected to rise even higher. The Eala Effect is not going away. It's growing. And as Eala continues to rise, the tennis world will continue to watch. The Cincinnati Open may have lost its biggest draw. But the Eala era is just beginning. Subscribe to Tennis Pulse and hit the notification bell for more tennis news, drama, and analysis every day.